this YouTube channel. I'm Demi. I'm a second year PhD student studying sound exposure in music venues. I'm based in the School of Medicine. Today I'm literally just trying to respond to one of my viral LinkedIn posts about using AI in PhD applications. After that, I'm going to look over the current project I'm working on, which is indoor location tracking in a music venue, because we'll be testing that tomorrow. So quite excited. A lot of work to do today. I've booked this room from 11 till 3:15 and I arrived at 11:30. So not the best thing, but we'll see how this goes. I'm quite hype. But yeah, let's get to work. So for a bit more context, a few days ago I wrote a post talking about this supervisor that had come onto LinkedIn to share that 2 applicants had emailed him within 48 hours with an email structure that looked basically identical. They redacted the topics and the research interests, but when you read both of the emails, it was like, there's no way they both came up with this on their own. So they concluded that they must have used AI and obviously isn't going to proceed with those applicants. So I saw this post and I thought it would be interesting to share my side of it. I basically shared this post and went, this is kind of crazy, and that if you're applying to a PhD and you can't write an email by yourself, how do you expect your supervisor to then think that you can do a PhD? And I did not expect it to get this many impressions. It's gotten 300,000 impressions and it's still going viral. And I'm getting so many comments each day that I'm trying to reply to. As much as the stance that I made, I still stand by that stance. I realized that this conversation is much bigger than people using AI in PhD applications, but rather it's how AI is changing the way we learn, the way we think about education, the way we think about academia. I just think that there's more to this than the stance that I made, and especially the applicant applying to PhDs. I can understand why they thought using AI was a smart idea. The signal it's sending isn't working. So I think for me, one of the things that I'm looking to write more about is what's the impact of using AI in academia and how do we measure learning now that AI can replicate a lot of written credentials. So that's what I'm looking at today. I've gotten so many comments. There's like 70 comments on this thing and I've been replying to as many as I can. But some comments have just been like, what do I even say? Or I've said the same thing in another comment. To be honest, I've probably contradicted myself so many times, but I think that's the beauty of these conversations. There is no right or wrong answer. There's a lot of nuance. And I think I'm really appreciative of people bringing their insights to it. Some people have taken it to mean something different to what I've said, which is completely understandable. Overall, I've been really glad to see the comments and to see what people are sharing about it. So going forward, I think on my Substack, which I'll link down below, I'm going to have a new section called Field Notes, and I'm going to write a bit more about this and about what this looks like going forward. Going viral, you really don't prepare for it, right? And I've not gone this viral in a while. This is like more viral than I've been ever, actually. But I didn't really realize it until I was going to comments. I was like, oh wow, this is very viral. So yeah, I've literally just been responding to a few more comments on the post, and some people have read the long form post that I've written on Substack too. LinkedIn's crazy. I'm trying to book a coach for Friday to Monday to go home because I want to see my family. And I was originally going to get that train, but the train is £55 for an off-peak return. That's just too much. And I'm going to London anyway in February. So I was like, nah, I'm going to get the coach this time. I've done it a few times, it's not the worst thing, but the coaches' prices are looking like £7 for one coach, so like £14 altogether. Not too bad, so I think that'll be better. So I'm going to book some coach tickets now, see how that goes. Okay, update. The National Express website doesn't seem to want me to buy coach tickets. It keeps just saying technical issue every time I choose a coach. So I'm going to look at Flixbus because there's 3 main coaching providers. There's National Express, Megabus and Flixbus. I used to use Megabus before, but I had a really bad experience with them, so I don't use them and I went to National Express. But if I can't book on National Express, I'm going to just try Flixbus. I've heard a few things that submit anyhow, but I'm just going to go with Flixbus and see what happens because I would like to be able to book the ticket, you know what I mean? So we'll see how this goes. Okay, you know what, right? I've checked. National Express doesn't want me to buy a coach. It just won't let me buy a coach. Flixbus just looks really sus, so I'm just not sure it's my vibe. And Megabus sucks. So now I'm going back and I'm just like, maybe I just found the train. I checked the train a few days ago, maybe yesterday, and it was saying £37 if I just get like advanced singles and stuff. Now it's £43. And like off-peak return is 55, so it's like I might as well just get the off-peak return, and then now we're back to the situation that we're having right now. So I think I'm gonna just book it on Thursday because Payday's in a few days, so I don't really want to spend £55 right now when I could wait. Yeah. Okay, so with all of that, trying to find the right training, right coach, I've given up. I'm going to wait a few days and see if I feel a bit better about choosing stuff. I'm really bad at choosing stuff, especially when it comes to buying stuff like travel or just items in general. I hate it. I stress out all the time. And this always happens when I need to book something. I'm always like, I can't be arsed, I don't want to do it. So usually I just give myself a bit of time to just breathe and chill and deal with it later, because there's never been any expense I've had to make from a place of urgency. But I feel like if I need something and I want to buy it, but I don't feel settled to buy it, I don't go for it, because I've made that mistake before where there's been things that I've bought out of urgency and it's never worked out for me. So going forward, I'm always like, if I don't feel comfortable buying the thing, I just don't buy it. And I see how I feel later. And if I do buy it later, great. But I would rather do an expense when I feel comfortable to do the expense, rather than do it now and then feel stressed about other things and whatnot. So it's going to be packed. For now, I'm going to read some papers. Actually, before I do that, I love Sudoku. It's very fun. And I've done maybe where's the pencil? 42. Actually, I've got one that's even in progress. This one's not even finished. I need to finish that one. I'm on 42 out of 300 and something. So, love this. This is £10. Really fun. So, I'm going to do one of these. And then I'm going to read some papers, particularly for the literature review. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So every time I complete a Sudoku, I write the date of when I completed and a tick to show that I did it. So I've got the date there. That's today's date, 19th of Jan. And I've done this one. So I'm on to these ones now, which I'll do later. I tend to do one a day because I don't want to do too many. But sometimes I go through like 3 or 4 in a day if I'm feeling excited. But one a day keeps my mind fresh and numbers are cool. So now I'm going to read some papers, particularly in this Bluetooth location tracking thing, because that's what I'm testing tomorrow. And I want to just refresh my understanding of it and just understand properly what it's doing and why it works. I realise I keep talking about this location tracking project and not explaining specifically what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So my second PhD project is looking at measuring sound exposure based on your movement in the venue. The reason why we're doing this is because typically we measure sound exposure by sound monitors being placed in the venue, but these are placed in a stationary location. So in that area where the sound monitor is placed, that's the sound exposure that is tracking for the duration of the concert, which is fine if you don't move. If you're attending a concert and you go closer to the stage when it's your favourite artist, or go further away, as most people do, your sound exposure is going to be very different to what the machine is saying, the sound monitor. So my project is looking to understand what the difference is between what a stationary sound monitor says a sound exposure is and what an individual sound exposure looks like when you account for movement in the venue. And I'm using a mobile app that I've built, as well as Bluetooth beacons that sort of send signals to your phone, and these signals are used to calculate your location. It is not done in real time. That's a future thing, but we do it in the aftermath. And right now we're just looking to address some edge cases and things about the way the signals are received and improving the accuracy of it. So that's the project. And today I'm just trying to refresh my mind on what the technology is doing, read some papers on it, write a bit, and see if I can understand it in good detail, what the measurements we're getting, why it works, and what it means going forward. So I've actually got this Word document that I've created for the different sections of my project, both the PhD overall and the project I'm working on. And I'm working on different literature reviews for each project. And for this one, I've broken it down into 5 domains, which are fundamentals of Bluetooth low energy, indoor positioning, why we use BLE in indoor positioning, accuracy and quality, and practical deployments. And I'm looking to read papers in each of these domains and just write down my findings for them. And I found that this format helps me really understand the topic and not miss out different elements, because when I look at finding papers for literature review, I find that I tend to find papers that are good, but I don't really know, okay, I've got the paper, what do I need to get from it? Whereas having this structure helps me go, okay, this is what I'm looking at in this section. these are the papers that I should look at and these are the questions I'm trying to answer. And it's hard because there's so many papers to read and you feel like you need to read more before you can make a conclusion. But I find that finding systematic reviews and meta-analyses are very good for this, because you can find papers that basically tell you what the main ideas are, and then you could just bounce over that and read the papers that they cite. So that's what I'm going to do specifically I'm going to do that for section 2, which is indoor positioning basics, because I just want to understand what indoor positioning is and why it is working and why we're using it. So today really is just understanding the background of indoor positioning. Okay, I just found this really good paper on indoor positioning systems, and it's really helped me understand the main terminology with them so that I can know how to refer to what I'm doing. And there's a lot of good insights on the different methods that people take with it. So I'm going to print this paper out because I think I'm going to read this more and just see if it can help me build a good foundation. So this is the paper, and it's 42 pages, but I imagine most of the citations are at the bottom, but like there's so much here. And a lot of these terms are terms that I'm using, especially this table here is so good because my thing is BLE beacons, that's what I'm doing. And it literally tells you what key terms refer to it. So yeah, this paper is going to be really, really useful. So I'm going to print this out because yeah, there's so much. Oh my gosh, even these, I need all these key terms. I need to understand all of this too. Yeah, so this is going to get printed out now. So upsettingly, the paper doesn't want to print from my personal laptop. So I'm going to have to go find a quick PC to just print this paper off, because for some reason it doesn't seem to like that I'm trying to print it off of here. So adventure time. Somehow printing this paper took 2 attempts. Look how thick it is. It's so thick. The first time I sent it to the printer, I only printed 8 pages. What am I going to do with 8 pages of a 40-page paper? Then the second time, it didn't even print all of the references, but luckily the references didn't really matter, so I'm not that bothered. But printing at this uni, right? I don't like simple printing, it won't work. But at least most of the paper we've got now, so I'll annotate and read this at some point later. It's near the end of my library session now, because I got to head off at 3:15 for counselling. So I've only got like an hour and 15 or 30 minutes left. So I might get some lunch and just chill for the rest of the library session. Maybe just do some emails, admin, that sort of thing. Maybe reply to more comments on LinkedIn and stuff. But I've done a good amount of work, pretty happy. But yeah, kind of tired too, to be honest. But you know, it's been productive, it's been good. So I think I'm going to get some lunch and just chill until counselling and then go from there. So I got tango apple, chicken curry sliced thing. Food is good. Okay, so I've had some lunch. The chicken was sort of like a chicken curry bake, like a steak bake, but chicken curry. It was meh. I think they overwarmed it, but what could we do? I'm gonna actually edit some TikTok videos because I filmed quite a few yesterday and I've got an hour, so might as well do some editing. Get it out of the way, right? So that's what I'm gonna do now. It has taken me around 12 or 13 minutes to edit one video, and that's just a rough cut. To be honest, the rough cut takes the longest amount of time for me. For my TikTok videos, I tend to do a rough cut, titles and subtitle. Captions, I've got a plugin that I paid for that generates it, but I don't know if I'm gonna add captions in this video, I'll see. So I've probably got another 10 minutes of figuring out what the title is, editing the captions, and then it's ready to go. Then I have to obviously come up with a description, all that stuff. But rough cut's fine. Rough cut's really the longest part of this, but I can't get any faster than the way I'm doing it. I think that's the thing with video editing. It's like, even if you're the best video editor, it takes long. There's no amount of being good at video editing that makes it not take long. So as soon as this YouTube thing takes off, or just as soon as this online thing takes off, I'll hire a video editor, because that's the one thing that I can do it, but it takes so long. And like, I can find the time to do it, but I would rather someone else do it so that I can just film and things. So yeah, fingers crossed this works out and I can get someone to video edit my stuff, because that'll be lit. Okay, it's time to go. I've edited the one TikTok video and I've just sort of been chilling, for the rest of the time. It's 3 o'clock. So I've got counselling in 15 minutes, and luckily it's just around the corner. So yeah, I'll head over to that now. So I'm home now. I've been chilling for a bit. Today was a long day. Good day. Never vlogged before, but like, I think it turned out all right. So yeah, I'm just chilling in the living room. Probably going to reply to more comments on my LinkedIn post because I've gotten quite a few that have been quite interesting. Vlogging's not easy, you know? Like, this is the first time I'm doing it, and you have to like constantly remember to like film stuff and talk to the camera. But I did enjoy it. Like, it was a really fun experiment, and I'll probably do more of these. And I think over time I'll get better at it. Stay tuned for more PhD vlogs and let me know in particular what you want to see. There's not a lot I can film. Like, I don't want to film too much. You know, like, for example, I'm not going to film too much of my commute. I can't really film stuff that I, like, specific research stuff that I do just because I don't want other people in it. And I'm trying to be considerate of the people around and things. And I don't want to film people. So let me know in the comments what you want to know about my PhD routine and things. And I'll see what I can document. I'll see what I can't document. And yeah, we go again, maybe tomorrow.